Hello, everybody. We are making chicken marsala today, which has got to be one of those dishes that everybody thinks is really exciting and wonderful and restaurant quality and all of that. And it is so easy. It's like, I want to welcome Barry and Joni. Hello. We're so glad you're here. Okay, so with no further ado, let's go in and talk about how to make it. Simple ingredients. We've got flour, mushrooms, a shallot, and now you don't have to have a shallot. You can have green onions, you can have onion, you could just leave it out. Garlic, which I think is essential no matter what. Chicken breast, boneless, skinless chicken breasts. Salt, pepper, Marsala wine, which is a fortified wine.
Dry or sweet?
It's dry. I only do dry. And olive oil and chicken broth, and of course, I always put herbs de Provence in it. That's it. And it is super cinchy. So first, I'd like to talk about the chicken breast. Now, honest to God, one of these suckers, it's practically a pound. It's enough for 3 or 4 people, okay? So it's boneless. Many chicken breasts have this, which is the chicken tender. It's on the side. It's the chicken tender. And this whole thing can be made with chicken tenders. It's an easy thing to do. And you see the size of the chicken tender and how thick it is. You're going to cut the chicken breast into fillets that are about this thick. So you take the chicken breast. It's easier to do if it's semi-frozen, which this isn't, but it's not a big deal. You just take the chicken breast and you've got a fillet that's about as thick as the chicken tender. And what you have here is probably 4 good-sized pieces. You can see why you could easily make one breast go for easily 2 people, but probably 4 people. 1 chicken breast. So it's always a good thing to be able to make that chicken breast go. And I'm going to turn this over. I have to wash my hands because I just was first I'm going to turn on the heat, and we're going to heat up the pan. We're going to move over there in a minute. And I'm going to first lay out the chicken breasts, slices. Oh, great. There we go. Lay out the slices. I'm going to I had one cut up already, so we got that pretty much. And then salt and pepper. I like to salt and pepper them on the board rather than to do it with the flour, because it gets to be much more even. So turn them over, salt and pepper the other side. And then about a half a cup of flour in a container. And you make sure that they're dredged really well. And lay them out. You don't want to crowd the pan because you don't want them stewing, you want them browning. But because you've already salted and peppered them, the salt and peppering is going to be even. Okay. And I'm just putting a good glug of olive oil into the pan, and then don't crowd the pan and lay them in carefully. Into the pan. And then I'm going to go away, wash my hands, and be right back. Always when you're handling raw chicken, it's always a good idea. Clean board. I rinsed off the other side, but I'm not going to do anything on that until later. Okay, so here we go. A shallot. Shallots are, they say that they're kind of like between an onion and garlic. I don't think so. I think they taste pretty much like their own selves, and I really like them. So I'm going to finely chop shallot. There we go. And garlic. And I have, now you can use the garlic from Trader Joe's in the container, but like I went to Costco and bought thousands of cloves of garlic, so I think I'm going to be chopping them until for the next month and a half. So there you go. Onions and garlic done. And now it is time to move over to the stove. Pan is really hot. Nice, beautiful browned chicken breast. You want them good and brown. It's about, I would say probably 4 minutes on each side. They don't have to be done, even though they're going to be pretty well done when you finish browning them. The only thing is, they're going to go into the sauce. The sauce is coming up. They'll be cooking in the sauce for a little while, which will make them perfectly done. So you don't have to worry about it. I made these the other night just to see about it. And it's really, they cook in no time at all. And you don't want to overcook the chicken breasts because they get very tough and dry. And I don't like that. But the flour is going to help thicken your sauce. So I shouldn't hurry these. They should just be the way they are for a little while longer, like for another minute or so. Tonight we're having it with polenta. And I just made the polenta. I love polenta. You can certainly pair this with rice, with pasta, with mashed potatoes, with polenta, zucchini noodles. You could do it with anything. The sauce is really lovely, and I like it with the polenta though. Okay, so we've got them. They're pretty much brown. You can see they're nice and brown. They're about half cooked. Oops. You can see how brown they are. Nice. Okay, you don't want to do anything bad with this. You want to keep that nice fond in the bottom. And I'm going to throw in a little bit of butter into that olive oil that's left over. And we're having it on medium heat here. And throw in about 8 ounces of mushrooms. Always a nice thing. I love mushrooms. A little bit of salt. A little bit of pepper. What you want is for the mushrooms to go for about, I'd say 2 minutes until they kind of get a little bit brown and cooked. Mushrooms are delightful. They're just wonderful. And I can't think of mushrooms without thinking about hobbits and how much hobbits love mushrooms in Lord of the Rings. So the mushrooms, they've been on there for maybe a minute. They're looking pretty done. They're looking pretty good. So I'm going to toss them to the side. And throw in the shallot and the mushrooms. You just want to cook it out a little bit, soften them up just a bit. You don't want them to be brown or cook too much. What? But it's okay if you do. But it is okay if you do. You're right. But it really doesn't matter. As Dina is informing me, it doesn't matter. If it tastes good at the end, that's all that matters. Okay. So, you remember that flour that I had left over from dredging it? Well, I'm going to put maybe a tablespoon, maybe 2 tablespoons in there. And cook out the flour taste. You can see how fast this is going. It's ridiculous how fast this is. I'm convinced that in a restaurant, they start mixing this up the instant you get the order because it's just too easy. So I'm just cooking out the flour taste. It's a roux. We've made roux before. You're cooking out the floury taste. All right. Stirring it up. Now let's talk about the Marsala. If you do not have Marsala, you can use white wine and a couple of tablespoons of brandy. Regular wine and a couple of, any kind of wine, actually. If you use wine, then you're getting into chicken cacciatore, which is equally wonderful, but a different dish. But be careful when you add the Marsala, mainly because the Marsala is fortified. It's got it's got a higher alcohol content, and you really don't want to set your kitchen on fire. So lower the heat a little bit, not much, and put it in. Carefully. What you're doing is cooking out the alcohol. This really has, I've actually made this for my sons, and they don't drink alcohol at all, but all of it goes away. So you could give it to children, I would think. But you've got it, and it's thickening up. You can see how it looks thick. You're reducing it. But it's totally lovely. And now, chicken broth. Now, I'm not going to add a whole cup. I'm going to, well, yeah, I will, because I like the sauce, so I'll do it. Need to bring that to a boil. And I have a good handful of parsley and a good pinch of herbes de Provence. I'd reduce this a little bit, probably a minute or two. But that chicken is going right back into that. It's going to simmer for a few minutes, and it's done. You're done. Some of that flour that's on the chicken that's browned is going to thicken up the sauce a little bit. Be sure you put all of the juices that have come out into that. Now tell me that that's a complicated dish. That's it. That's all there is to it. You just have to simmer this for about 5 minutes, because that's about how long it will take for the chicken to be completely cooked through. And with the green, you can also add like a handful of spinach to this if you wanted to make it a whole meal. You've got your either rice or noodles or potatoes or polenta. You've got your mushrooms, chicken sauce. This sauce is lovely. And then before you serve it, of course, you're going to be tasting it to make sure there's enough seasoning in it. But there you have it. You're all set. And I'm going to turn this down, and I'm going to move over here. And ask, anybody have any questions? You can unmute yourselves.
That was super easy.
No kidding.
That was so easy.
No kidding. I almost didn't think to make this because it is so easy. It's one of those dinners that's a weeknight dinner that anybody can do. And I was talking to somebody last night saying something about chicken marsala, and he said, well, I'll just get the can from the jar from Trader Joe's. And I said, no, it doesn't taste good. It doesn't taste homemade. And this is just really fine. Yeah, easy peasy. You can see, even if I hadn't had the mushrooms chopped up, or I didn't have the chicken cut up, you can have it on the table in about a half an hour. So it's one of those late last minute type things that is super easy and super good.
Okay.
And you can serve it to company.
What, Bonnie?
Did you do anything special for your polenta?
Not a thing. I followed the
Read
recipe
the box.
on the box because I could. I had the polenta. I had all of the ingredients, including I grated a little bit of Parmigiano Reggiano cheese, threw that in, the butter. It's water, polenta, butter, Parmesan, salt. I followed the recipe on the box or on the bag. And because I like cornmeal mush and I like grits, that's basically what it is. It's untreated grits. And I'll get it right now. And you can see it's totally lovely. I like it softer, on the softer side, and creamy. So there you have it. And I put it in a double boiler because I don't want to mess with it. If you put it in a double boiler, you don't have to watch it like you do if it's over a flame. You just put it in a double boiler and cook it for a half an hour, and you've got it. And then add the butter. You can put cream in it. You can.
Shrimp.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Grill some shrimp in garlic butter and put it on top of the polenta. We had that at a restaurant in Hollywood, didn't we? Or in Echo Park, didn't we, Joan? Yeah, that's an amazing dinner or lunch or whatever. It's just wonderful. Throw a few leaves of parsley on top. It's fabulous.
And then, Kate, do you do it about the consistency like of mashed potatoes then?
Yeah,
Kind of?
I do.
Okay.
But you know what? You can do it thicker or thinner. It depends on what you want.
Okay.
It's to your taste. that's why I like.
I've
making-
never made it homemade, so that's why I wondered. I bought sometimes those tubes that you
Yeah,
like slice
those
up
cubey things, and then you cut them up and fry
and you
them.
like fry them. So I never really thought about them being like that. That's great.
Yeah, and
I learn a lot from you.
I love the fried polenta. I think that's delicious. I love it. But I also, if I'm going to serve it in place of noodles,
Right.
I like it fried. I like it mushy and wonderful and
Perfect.
like mashed potatoes.
Okay.
Consistency of mashed potatoes. And when you make it, you control the consistency
Mhm.
because you are adding however much water to it
Right.
that you want.
Cool.
So, yeah. Diana is trying to move. Look, surreptitiously away. She just arrived. There's one right there. Yeah. Anyway, so there you have it. Chicken marsala, which could be chicken in wine sauce if you just put red wine with it, or white wine for that matter. And there you have it. Wonderful stuff.
I can
So,
smell it from here.
Dina, how's it smell?
Mm.
Amazing. Yeah, well, anything that has that much garlic in it has got to be just wonderful. So there you have it.
And the mushrooms are earthy and
Yeah. And let me bring it back to look at the consistency of the sauce. You can see the sauce is just right at, it's thick and lovely. Oh, if you want, you can add cream to this. You can add a half a cup of cream. I think our dessert tonight is going to have cream in it, so I'm not making it with cream. But you put a little bit of cream into it, and at the last minute, you're not gonna cook it down with cream in it. And it's a lovely creamy sauce. Though, I didn't put that much in, and it just added a nice taste to it. Something else you could add at the last minute is a couple of lumps of butter, and that gives a kind of unctuousness to the sauce. So there you have it.
yay.
Yay.
Thanks so much.
So I don't know about next week. Should we do candy next week?
We
Like
could.
your recipes,
So
Carol?
I usually make candy in the winter time when it's cooler.
I know. Well, I don't know exactly. I'm going to be making a strawberry mousse tonight for the first time. Maybe we'll do strawberry mousse or something next week.
Ooh, that would be great.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That is another one of those easy peasy things. But we can see what happens. I'll let you know probably tomorrow or Saturday what we're going to do.
Okay.
But I'm so glad you were here. Yay!
Thank you.
There's Barry
you.
and Joni.
Yeah. And I'm
And you
so
you
glad-
missed the saga of Bonnie and her
her-
parachuting.
yeah,
My God.
airlift. And
And,
Dina,
and also Dina had a run-in with 6 seminarians.
broke her elbow
Oh,
And got a black eye.
and has a black eye, which is just amazing.
wow.
No, it's speed bumps. It's speed bumps.
Oh,
It's not nearly as good a story though as the seminarians.
Why I'm a writer. Pick the best story and go
or
with
the
it.
parachute jump.
Go look at Bonnie. Bonnie had us all going for a
Yeah.
minute there.
Bonnie had the best story.
Yeah,
And she told it deadpan.
yeah, perfect.
Bonnie, did you really jump without your chute opening?
See?
See?
I'm sorry, were you talking to me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I almost forgot.
So how are you
Okay,
doing?
that was wonderful.
Oh, yeah, so dead easy. How are you doing, Carrie? Are you,
Yeah, we're just about ready.
Mm.
yeah. Okay,
I have the big chicken breast. All I need to do is get some mushrooms on Saturday at Farmer's Market, and I'm in.
So my chicken pieces were smaller because
Right.
I do chicken thighs. Generally, I don't have chicken breast around the house. We like thighs. So I had smaller pieces. Everything else was the same.
But you use the thighs, Carrie? You
Yes.
use the chicken thighs?
yeah,
Nice.
Oh, it's beautiful.
this is good stuff. This is really good stuff. Well done, Carrie. Now notice the differences here. Chicken thighs, chicken tenders, chicken pieces, marsala, white wine. It doesn't matter. Whatever tastes good to you. Whatever you have.
That's what makes
So-
your cooking class so
Yep.
great. Because you don't, it just doesn't matter. You
No,
just
if it
do it
tastes
and magic happens.
go with it. If it tastes good, go with it. And then tell me about it the next, like Carrie, tell me about it.
I will.
You had problems with pavlova.
Okay, but I'm gonna try again. So my
Did you have an issue with your
guys-
pavlova?
you guys, my pavlova never puffed.
Yeah.
Like, it
It
never
never
thickened up.
did?
So we had pavlova pizza,
Yeah.
It was flat.
Okay.
Oh,
delicious. And it was
I
fine.
bet.
But I did
So-
something last night, you guys, that I was super proud of. I took a loaf pan and I did puff pastry in the loaf pan, and I sauteed up some ground turkey and sweet potato and some herbs de Provence and a little bit of white wine. I did the meat, and then I put the vegetables in, simmered it for a little bit, and then threw it in the loaf pan with layers. So I did a layer of meat and vegetables, and then I did mozzarella cheese, and then I did meat and vegetables, mozzarella cheese, and then I did puff pastry over the top. So good. It turned out
Wow.
good.
Well done.
So that's like
Great.
a pot pie,
It was just like a
something.
meat pie.
Yeah, meat pie.
Yeah.
It's
That sounds yummy.
Carrie, how long did you bake it about to get those, because the layers are cooked, so it's
Yeah.
just the puff
About,
pastry, like 20
10,
minutes,
15
half hour?
Yeah,
Oh, only that, okay.
maybe 20 minutes. Not very long.
That sounds really good.
It turned out really good. I was pretty proud of
Okay, I have to try this.
And the puff pastry on the bottom was cooked?
myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna try that.
I know.
Beautiful.
That's just a new rendition on a meat pie, you
Yeah.
know?
Okay, I am so proud of you.
That sounds so good.
Recipe.
I know, it sounds great. I'm gonna make one. I've got
No,
puff
that's-
pastry in there.
So do I.
Okay. Well, I will see all of you next week. I'll let you know what it is we're going to do. I think you're right about candy being much more of a winter
weather.
type
Yeah.
thing.
It gets a little cooler. We're just beginning into the hot time now.
Right,
True.
right. Maybe when it starts raining in June, we'll,
Right.
you know, when it does that.
May gray and June gloom.
Yeah. So goodbye, everybody.
Thanks so much, Kate.
Thank you, Kate.
Good.
Mwah. Everybody have a good week.
Have a
Bye.
wonderful week. Stay vertical. Stay vertical. Stay vertical.
Vertical.
Bye, you guys.
Bye-bye. Thank you.